welcome back to This Week in Prophecy, Season 4, Episode 21. Today is August, it's August, right? August 12th, yes. 2026. Yes. I'm here with my friend Aaron. My name's William. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back, or welcome for your first time. We discuss prophecy on this podcast, so when we say prophecy, we're not just talking about fortune telling or something silly like that. In Scripture, prophecy is God speaking by His Spirit to build up His people, give them guidance, call them back to truth, and strengthen them to obey. Sometimes this comes as encouragement, and sometimes it also comes as loving correction. God is always good. That doesn't mean He's always comfortable by our standards. So we take it seriously and responsibly here. We weigh it against the Bible. We look for the fruit, and we refuse to give into any of the hype. So today, Aaron and I are just going to have a conversation about some of the dreams and things that he gets prophetically, and we're going to walk through what that means. Or we're going to walk through what he saw, what it might mean, and how believers can respond in prayer and maturity without fear. So, after that disclaimer,
fantastic.
Ready to jump in?
I don't know what you're talking about. That was fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we thank you guys for joining us. Let's get right into it. It's been a rainy week, kind of a weird week.
Awesome.
You doing okay?
I love the rain.
Yeah.
When I lived in Washington, every day I'd wake up and my bed was right by the window, and I lived on the second story. And that sound of the water, it just was, I loved it.
I know.
And then I moved here.
It's something you don't get out here. Right?
No,
yeah.
never.
You hear that, you think there's a leak.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, what's leaking, right? But I used to hear it every day, and it was always, I used to go home from work, go in the backyard and chop wood for the fireplace, and everybody wore like flannel shirt, and jeans, and it was like lumberjacks.
the Washington uniform.
Oh yeah, and a big beard, so it was like lumberjack in the backyard in the misty,
That's awesome.
Misty rain. Oh, I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, you get like less sunshine than rain up in some of those
places.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That's fair. Well, let's jump right into it. Your first dream that we have today is about a festival, antique stands, and the last tent. So this was the 10th of November, 2021. I'll let you go through it. We'll kind of follow the same format we did last time. Does that work? Get you through all the dreams first, and then we'll break them down.
Let's do that.
Okay, cool.
So 10 November, I was watching people get ready for a festival. And I was walking through the stands. So it's like tents almost. But I was actually walking through the inside, not like on the outside where you're looking in. Mm-hmm. I was walking through the middle of these, and they were like, it reminded me of the Army, the green tents we used to have in the Army. They're the GP mediums or whatever, but they were square, and you'd walk through them, and people were selling stuff, antiques. And this man said, go to the last tent and talk to the pastor. So when I went to the last tent, I was hoping for like some deliverance or that kind of revival type preaching or prayer, and it was just people arguing with each other. And that was it.
Interesting. All right, second dream. Okay. About a year later, or the next year, 17th of April 2022, something about a street of bars, an apartment, and a river of glory.
Yeah, this one was actually awesome. So I was walking on this street, and there was, what it reminded me of is Fremont Street in Las Vegas.
Okay. A lot of debauchery.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I was walking on this street, and there was bars and clubs, and like out in front of the clubs, there was prostitutes, and people were just drinking, getting drunk, getting high, like doing things like you knew it was like, exactly. It was like Thailand, And so when I went up, I had an apartment. My apartment was over a brothel.
Interesting.
And a bar, brothel, whatever. So I went up to my apartment, and it was very weird. It was like a bed, a nightstand, and a dresser. That was it. And then you could see the neon light shining in through the window. So kind of like, one of those where the guy's in the room alone and he's thinking, he's like a, detective, and he's watching.
Yeah, like those old L.A. Noir films.
Yes, exactly.
And the saxophones are in the background.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of.
I love movies like that. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Dick Tracy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what it reminded me of. So I went in, and I laid down on my face on my bed, and I started praying. And I remember I was like this, like praying, clenching every muscle. And as I was praying, I started crying. And then I knew inside, this is how you're supposed to pray. It was like a revelation.
Really?
Like, oh, this is how you're supposed to pray. And so, but it wasn't like, hold on, we'll talk about it. So I felt like, oh, this is how you're supposed to pray. Instantly, I felt something come out of the sky and land on my bed. So imagine one of those like Tempur-Pedic beds where you're on the bed and somebody's walking next to you.
Yeah.
So I felt the foot, like it was like whack. And I felt the feet on the bed, but I didn't turn or nothing. I just knew I had to keep praying. And as I kept praying, it started walking towards me. And I could feel each footstep as it stepped on the bed. I could feel myself go like this, because the bed was moving. So I felt him walking towards me. I felt his footsteps, but I couldn't look at him. And it was like he laid on top of me, and there was a river flowing over me. I couldn't move or do anything. I knew I was protected by the river. The river looked like snow on an old television, long color bars.
Yeah.
I knew it was God's glory.
Wow.
And we can, I'll explain what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right now.
I have plenty of questions.
Yeah,
about
I know
that.
you do, because these seem so random, but they're really not.
100%. And then the last one was about a pizza place, a boardroom, and then the New Mexico State Police, the 23rd of July, 2022. So kind of shortly after that previous one.
Yeah, this one sounds really random. So I was hooking up lights for a pizza place in a food court. It was a big boardroom overlooking the food court, and they were filming a commercial for a lawyer. After I was trying to leave, I had to go through a screening process, like when you come back into a country. But I was just going to a different state. I was dressed like a New Mexico State police officer. I was put in this room where they had people, IRS agents, working, and they let me go because I was a cop.
That is random.
That is random, right?
All right. So let's get into it. Let's do that first one. Let's just take them in order. Yeah? The antique stream and the festival and the last tent. So what would you say the feeling was of that overall festival or gathering as you walked through it? Was it joyful? Was it happy? Was there urgency? Like, what was the atmosphere like?
I don't know. I don't think it was like that. It just kind of seemed like an open air market.
Right.
And people were just doing their own thing. It wasn't like carnival rides and little kids laughing and people walking around with cotton candy. It was just more like an open air market. But I wasn't, like I said, it wasn't open where you'd walk up to a stand and look at their wares and then go to the next one, look at their stuff and look at the next. I was actually walking. The tents were connected, but they were each like, say, one 12 by 12 tent, and you walk through the center of them. So you were enclosed the whole time. And I remember walking and like, oh, look at this antique, like, what is this? What is this? And then somebody said, no, you got to go to the last tent because, what do you say? Let me read it again. I have to go to the last tent.
Go to the last tent and talk to the pastor.
Yeah. So I'm excited, like, oh, this is where revival, this is like something important is going to happen. And I'm thinking like, spirit-filled type thing, like this is going to be like healing. People are getting healed and delivered and like God's glory is in it and it's going to be awesome. But when I got there, everybody was just arguing.
Yeah.
It was really weird too because
what do you take from that? Like the way that the dream played out? Like what did you, because obviously this was a little while ago, and I know that after you get dreams and stuff, you pray on them, you might revisit them, the Lord might reveal further things to you later, right? But what does that come to mean, if anything?
So I'm walking through the tents and there's antiques, right? Traditions, old things that people holding on to, right? And they're everywhere. And it's just, I would say like we're of Paul, we're of Silas, we're of this person.
Oh,
yeah.
So they're all kind of arguing, but there's no real point as to why they're arguing.
Well, the antiques are the traditions.
Right.
As I'm walking through the tent, I'm seeing all these old traditions that people have held on to, and now it's gotten worse. And now it's like not only are we saying certain older denominations have these traditions, but now the newer ones have these traditions as well. And it's like more things people have to carry.
Right.
If I buy these antiques, I'm going to have to carry those to the last part with this supposed to be freedom and deliverance.
Oh.
No, along the way, I'm carrying all these traditions. And then when I get to here where I'm supposed to feel God's glory and I'm supposed to see, like, I'm supposed to have an encounter with God, instead I'm carrying around all this stuff with me.
Right.
So, oh my goodness, I'm so amazed sometimes. But like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going through each room, getting something, and I'm putting it in my backpack. As I get to the last room, I'm not going to see God's glory because everybody's arguing over this and that and these stupid things. Instead of just saying, like, I don't want all the extra doctrinal stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to read what, here it is, this is what it is.
Right.
Jesus Christ crucified and raised again. Like, let's just start there.
Right.
But all the extra things over time that we have carried with us now weighs us down.
Denominations.
I never, like,
religions.
It's amazing, right? It's just kind of like, ooh.
Wow.
So you have a hunger, right? I'm starting off there with a hunger for God.
Right.
Empty. My backpack is empty. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm going to get to the end, but you still got to navigate through these things. You still got to, like, navigate through all this stuff. And are you going to carry things with you? Or are you going to be like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. But people are still going to be like, hey, buy this. This is what you need.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have this, you can't get into heaven.
Yeah.
If you don't have this,
yeah.
No. And God's like, I don't care about none of that stuff. What I care about is you and me having a relationship. All this other stuff, I don't care about.
That's so true.
And you don't see it in the beginning because you're just like, oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, this is God. Like, he's talking to us. And you carry those things with you. You carry them with you, not even realizing that none of that is important. It was important to somebody.
Rocks in your backpack.
Yeah, it was important to somebody 100 years ago
right.
that they had a candle in their house.
Right.
But now we have electricity, so we're just gonna get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, man, it's so. I mean, does it matter? Like, if I say this, if God gave me this dream and I'm like, I try to keep my stuff empty. Like, I don't want to hear. Yeah, that's fine. I will take what people say, teachings. I listen to stuff online a lot, especially while I'm at work and I'm working. I listen to preachers and stuff. And I'll take what they say and, like, let me look it up. It doesn't really say that. So that doesn't seem right. Then I'm going to talk to you or your wife or my wife, like, what do you think about this? Because we should be like the Bereans.
Yeah. That's
right?
That's community. That's
it
fellowship.
100%. 100%. You have to have that iron sharpens iron. And so I talk to my wife. I talk to my friends. I talk to you. And it's like, what do you think about this? Like, I'm seeing this and the Bible it's saying something different. What do you think about it? And then we talk about it. And, if you tell somebody this, they want to keep it. Like, they don't want to give up things.
Yeah.
But, gosh, it was so, like, I'm so excited about that day or that time when I get to the last tent and I get there and they're just arguing. And it's not like, you were a jerk today. It's like they're arguing over this and that, and this means this and that. And
like doctrine.
Oh yeah, it was a church service, and they're just all arguing. So you couldn't experience the glory of God because everybody's trying to push what they think is best.
Right there. Do you think that an over focus on doctrine in certain churches, in some ways, can distract people from experiencing the Lord?
100%. Yeah, you cause.
Because sometimes you get so caught up in the doctrine and the teaching, or the way it has always been, or this is the way it should be, and we're missing the entire message.
There's nothing wrong with. I mean, you have we have to have a learning time, right? Where we learn, and sometimes somebody is a little better at it than you, but understanding things and stuff. But the point is not to say, well, I'm just going to take everything you say as this is the way it's supposed to be. I have to come back to the word.
Yeah, you got to work it out. You have to work it out for yourself.
We're seeing, man, here's the thing. We're seeing these prophets and pastors and people falling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of the hidden sin. But the first part of that is they are using the name prophecy and in what it's not meant to be. I'm going to come and tell you secret things about your life, and you're going to be amazed. That's not really prophecy.
Right.
And so what happened is they become elevated to the status. I mean, we've talked about this before, but that's not really prophecy.
Right.
I don't, it's not at all prophecy. And we've seen how it's taken in a bad sense.
You're teeing me up for a great question for later. I had to write it down.
But people are not studying it for themselves and seeing oh, that's not prophecy.
Yeah.
But this man of God, stop. No. They would have just read it for themselves. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
No. That's for later.
Oh, later?
That's
okay.
for the end. We're going to get through the dreams first. So, looking back, my last question here. Does this dream feel in any way like a warning for the church or anything like that, or like a personal call to action?
Okay. Yeah, if you don't come back to purity, this is what's going to happen. We're all going to
It's just going to be
bicker,
quarreling and confusion.
And God's not going to come down. Then we're going to blame it on something else because... Well, I'm just saying, let's not blame it on something else. Let's actually look at ourselves.
Right. First.
Are we doing this to people? Are those people actually learning? If they're not learning God's heart,
right,
then it will continue. We're seeing, like I said, over and over, we're seeing these men fall because they were doing this to people, but people weren't taking the time to understand. If you want to know and feel God's presence, you understand his heart, which means in the word and prayer, time alone with him. And it may take a year.
Yeah.
But it's that consistency that shows God, all right, now I'm going to step in, whatever it is. Some people, it happens quickly. And some people, it may take a time, but you need to not be religious about it, but you need to show him that I'm serious about you.
Yeah. Amen.
So
it's a good word, man.
Yeah.
And I think myself included, a lot of us need to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the second dream, that one where you were in the hotel room, kind of above all the bars and all of that stuff going on in the street. So you're walking up. Anything indicative of the location? Why were you walking by all these bars and brothels and seeing all these people standing out on the street? It's like you walked through that to get up to the apartment and pray. Do you know why?
I don't know why I was there, to be honest. Sometimes I think that's a real event that's going to happen, but I don't know why I was there. I just know when the dream started, I was walking down the street. And I felt sad. I genuinely felt sad for these people because other dreams we've talked about, and this is an older dream, so it's not as intense. In other dreams, I can see them. I can see into their life. I'm not saying I'm going to prophesy all of your
right.
Your
all your PII,
but I
personal
feel their pain is what I felt. I'm not finding all their personal information, which I'll take that back. The last one I really did, but that's not the point. That's not the prophecy. It's understanding the woman's pain is what I felt. And so this one was the beginning of that. I wasn't understanding or I was seeing it. I wasn't like in depth as how the dreams have progressed, where now I'm actually looking through their eyes, feeling the pain they feel, feeling the depression. I was just kind of seeing it from the outside, like a surface level, but I still felt sad. Like I saw these people laughing and having a great time, but I knew that they were just lost,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't understand that joy and happiness of actually having a relationship with God. They were just lost.
Wow.
But on the outside, to everybody else, they're having a great time. They're laughing and they're drinking and they're just like
they're doing the things that the world says go out and have fun.
We would call living it up.
Living
right?
it. Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, that's right.
Living it
They were
up.
out living it up, and you know, I see commercials, especially here in Vegas, where like you see these women and they're out drinking, and then it shows them in the room the next day, and they're all like, oh. And they get those IV bottles, and then they're ready for the next party.
I know. It's like, let's just recharge and let's go.
Right. And so, you know, the first scene shows them like partying in the club and balloons and glitter, and they're like having a good time. People look at that like,
oh, that's great.
That looks like a great time.
Yeah.
But then you see the next day, and they're miserable, hungover, makeup all smeared, still has the bride sash on, but it's like around her neck, and like, the IV guy shows up and it's like, okay, now we can start partying again. And so
fascinating.
Yeah,
business.
right.
Fascinating business.
So it's just like people falling down, you know. Anyways, the point is like I'm seeing them, but I'm feeling sad for them. As I'm walking through, I'm like, they don't know what they're doing. That's how I was feeling. Like they don't understand what they're doing. And there was prostitutes and drugs and like girls and guys making out and doing things in these bars, in these clubs, in this area. So I went into my room, my apartment, or my whatever. It was like my little place, which was right over a brothel / bar. And
you start praying.
Yeah.
And about that specifically, because when you were going through the description, you're like, oh, this is the way that I'm supposed to pray, right? But you said you were really straining and it was really tense. So from somebody who's never heard this before, are you saying the way to pray is to tense yourself up and lay flat in your bed? Go into that further. What does that mean?
That's not what that means. It's not a religious thing.
For sure.
Right? Like I have to.
Yeah.
What it meant was like I was giving it my all.
Right. So you were sincere and you were fully committed.
It was from my heart.
Okay.
It wasn't just like, okay, I'm going to say 5 Hail Marys and 3 Our Fathers. And all right. You know, I'm just using that as an example.
I know. It's great.
This is very structured. It's very like, this is, you know, this is how you must pray every time. You must do this and that. It was more of like, Lord, I'm giving you my all. I'm really stressing the prayer I feel for these people who I know are lost.
Right.
And then I instantly felt like a wave of like, oh, that's how you pray. Not clenching your muscles, but giving it like praying with a full heart. I always say that, like, I have a full heart for God. And so like, as I'm praying, my heart is full for these people. You know, it's weird because the room didn't have nothing in it, a bed, dresser, and a nightstand, and like a little lamp.
Right.
And you could see the light, the neon light blinking in the window. It was pure.
Yeah.
Right? We were just talking about this, you and me. That pureness was what caused this. Oh, I get it. There wasn't all the stuff you picked up along the road.
Right.
That room was just pure. It doesn't mean that you should be poor and only have these certain things. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it represented the heart.
Yeah.
It was pure. I'm not carrying around all these burdens of this, that, and the other thing. I was actually like, I don't have nothing that's going to bother me. I don't have all these extra doctrinal teachings. I don't have all this extra stuff. It's just me and God and the necessities.
And look at the location too, because it can be you and God and the necessities and that purity, even amongst If things around you are crazy, it doesn't mean your situation has to be
What
crazy.
you need to understand is that God removes you from the darkness, He cleans you up, purifies you, and then He puts you back into that darkness to shine the light, because downstairs is dark.
Yeah.
In that room, the light is coming through the window, right?
Yeah.
That neon light, and it's lighting up my room. That light is coming through. I mean, I don't know how to explain this enough. Some people think like, I'm saved now, I can never talk to those people. Like, good. Avoid people that make problems in your life.
Right.
But to say like, I would never even be caught in this area of town, like this and that. God does. He pulls you out,
Yeah.
cleans you up, especially if you were one of those people downstairs, and then He'll put you back in that area to say, now shine the light. Doesn't mean I'm going to put you in the bar and you have to go drink. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is He will put you somewhere where that is to be the light.
Sometimes it takes a person who has experience with that and can relate to really get through to some people sometimes, you know?
That's the truth. Like,
it is very, very...
people like to talk to people who understand what they're going through.
100%.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then so as you were praying, you felt those footsteps coming towards you, and then it was like you were covered with something and protected by the river. Looked like it was God's glory, right? And it looked like an old snowy TV.
Yeah.
You've had that happen in a couple of different dreams.
A few things, yeah.
Where it's like that river's moving by and it looks like snow, but it's the glory of God. Was this one of the first dreams where you were shown that?
I don't remember the date on the other one. I don't remember which one came first.
Got it.
I think it was this. This is the second one, because the way I described it, it sounded like the way I described it on the other one. But that was a vision.
Yeah.
That wasn't a dream. That was
You're right.
An actual
That was circa
vision.
2022.
What date?
Let's look.
Because, and you know what's funny is about a year later after this, I saw somebody explain how they saw Adam before the fall wrapped in the glory of God. And he said it looked like snow on an old television set. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, that man really saw that. I know exactly what he's talking about because I've seen it.
This one talks about, this was when you were looking at the whole bloodline back to Adam, right?
No, that was somebody else talking about it. What they saw, like, you're right.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody else saw something with Adam.
Understood.
And the way he explained the glory of God that was wrapped around him was like snow on an old television set. And this was after these dreams. And I'm like, yes, that man knows exactly.
That's fascinating. And so you felt this obviously come into your room, start walking towards you, and then cover you. What is the symbolism behind it covering you?
So this is what it looks like exactly as that river that flowed through the picture screen where the mans were sticking their arms inside.
Yep.
That's exactly what was over me. So I'm praying, right? Think about Daniel when he said, I sent the angel, but it took 21 days to get there. Imagine that angel coming out of the sky and walking over toward me and just covering me, right? And so what it felt like was I was laying down covered like this, and there was water that went like this over me.
It was like flowing
but
over you.
I couldn't move. I was so heavy.
Could you feel like because if you go into a river and you stand there, you can feel the river flowing against you. Could you feel it pushing against you?
That's how I felt. Like the water was hitting me and it was going over me, and it was so heavy that I could not get up.
Wow.
It was like I was just trapped, and I thought, like, what am I going to do? But I also felt I also thought I wasn't wet. So obviously there's a tarp over me. That's what I felt like. It was weird. I don't know what to say about it.
You just conveniently laid a tarp down first, you know? Yeah.
This is just me like thinking out loud, I guess. I don't know. But so you have this dark environment, but you're separated from it, even though you're in it.
Right.
There's a surrender. Then the prayer gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Then the river flowing over you. And it's, like I said, it was so heavy.
Right.
And this is what we were just talking about, the stones. Like, God's glory is so heavy that you won't be able to carry both at the same time.
And that's consistent with some of the other experiences that we've both shared or have heard other people talk about when it comes to the presence of the Lord being so heavy. So that's very, very consistent.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
That's what I know. Like, I don't want to say.
I'm not saying like it's, it's supposed or consistent, but
no.
But it all lines up because, like,
it is.
you know, as Kelly says, you know, God will speak to a lot of his people the same way, right? And like his messages will be consistent. He's not a God of confusion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talked about something today. She told me a dream. It was a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Today, I found somebody preaching about the exact same thing that she pointed out in her dream.
You got to stop coming around. We're having dreams.
I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's the Lord. It's not you. It's the Lord.
You know something that's funny? And this isn't me. Mm-hmm. I really feel like when God pours out in people, there's a residue, right? Because I was laying.
Like a ripple?
I'm in bed, and I'm, bam, having these dreams. Boom, boom. And then my wife wakes up one day and like, what did you dream about? I'm like, what did you dream about? You know, like, I knew she had a dream. And so we're both on the same exact day. She had a dream that we had a house and there was a wood area, a place you could ride motorcycles and shoot guns and do all the woodsman stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like Tennessee. And the exact same night, I had a dream that we had a house and it was like Seattle or Portland where it rains all the time. And next door to us was a Army surplus store / coffee shop. So it had what
That's like
I
a
love.
dream for you, man.
It had what I have and what she loved, and in the place she loved. And then she had a dream that it had what I loved, she loved in a place I loved. But it was the same night. So I'm like, you know what's happening, right? You're getting splashed on, right?
That's awesome.
And then somebody came and stayed at my house. And they were like, dude, I had 8 dreams last night, and I don't know what to say about any of them. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just, it was very heavy. Like I said, it was very heavy, very just weighty. This is what I know, is that God pours out on people, and if they're carrying around a bunch of stuff, they're not going to be able to carry this.
Right.
Or they're only going to be able to carry this much of it.
Right.
So it's very important, like, to understand what you think, what you believe. If you believe the very basic, all the rest of the stuff can come or go.
Yeah. It's
that I'm always searching for knowledge, always have to have the truth. Whenever somebody asks me a question, I've got to be there right with the extra. It's the extra biblical teachings that weigh us down.
Yeah, taking it beyond.
Yeah, and so, again, like I said, you know, you see these a lot of people online, and they have all this extra teaching that just like it just
or they're hypercritical about everything.
Oh well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
It's because of their extra teaching.
Yeah,
it's you know, I hear this. You hear those trigger words, and then you know, ooh, I'm not gonna. Yeah, this is proven doctrine. I have to listen to proven proven because you battered a bunch of people into it, or it's proven because it's taken from the word and it explicitly shows the word. If you have to argue your point to people,
yeah,
and then like, well, you know, this because that's what it says. Well, that's not really what it says. Well, yes, it does. You just don't understand. Then it's probably bad. Probably shouldn't even teach people that because you don't know what you're doing to them. Right. But so there's that.
So after you had the river of the Lord, whatever you called it,
the river of
his glory flowing over you. When you woke up, how'd you feel?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It was a long time ago.
Sounds like a good dream. I was just curious if there was anything afterwards you were like, whoa, you know?
I did feel nervous at first. In the dream, I felt nervous at first, like, oh, I can't move.
Right.
Because here's something, and I don't know why. If I watch a movie and somebody gets buried alive, I cannot sleep for a week. Right? Like, I saw, it was years ago, Kill Bill 2, where she got buried alive and she was, hitting the thing that.
Hitting it, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't sleep for a week.
Yeah.
Man. I was just, I lay down and that's all I thought about was being buried alive.
Oh, I watched a
And-
documentary about some guy who got stuck in a cave. Oh, when he was like, you know, because spelunkers out there are like, here's a 2 foot by 2 foot hole. Let's try to fit through it, you know?
Yeah.
And that stresses me out. Like,
Yes.
I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I feel like I know exactly what you
Yeah.
mean.
So like when I was in the dream and that was happening, my first thing was like, I can't move. I'm trapped, you know. But then it was like, what are you worried about? Like,
Yeah.
I got you. You know,
Yeah.
that feeling of like just peace.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was that. But yeah, it was amazing. Like this was one of the really I felt it. I felt the water going like this and then over me. You know,
Wow.
like it was rushing. Like as the water rushes and you feel it like spread on your leg. That's why I felt like boom, and it just kind of. And I knew there was an angel coming out of the sky, and I couldn't look at him. And I just felt his feet like coming closer, or his Jesus, or whatever, just coming closer, and then like, I'm gonna cover you. Don't worry, you know. And it was like we have no idea the knowledge. Like the earth would be filled with the knowledge of His glory, not the glory, like it says.
Wow.
It says the knowledge. Just knowing how heavy it is what's gonna change everything. You know.
Amen. Amen. So third dream. 23rd of July, 2022. We're going to go back to that pizza place, the boardroom screening, and the New Mexico State Police. So you were hooking up the lights for that pizza place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're often doing things or fixing things in your dreams. Anything different about fixing things here or doing things here that stood out?
Hooking up light in a food court, pizza place food court. So I don't know. I'm not going to say this 100% because I haven't heard that, but like in my prayer time. But imagine Pizzagate.
Why did I think you were going to say that? Why did I think? Yeah,
I
okay.
am putting illumination on a pizza place in a food court.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not saying that's what it is. What I'm saying is we're illuminating something.
Yeah.
Like he's showing me you are illuminating something that's bad, right? I'm not saying that's what it is.
And it's
a
interesting.
lot of theories.
Yeah.
But
well, the part that stuck out to me, that was my next question, was you went through and you went to leave and you had to go through a process like you were getting screened. So it's almost like you're leaving an area that was secure, or leaving an area that had some sort of importance or significance. Because why would you have to be screened when you leave?
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
That's very strange.
And there was IRS agents everywhere.
IRS?
Yeah,
like the tax people?
It's in there. Let me see. Did I gosh dang it. Sorry.
Yeah, IRS agents working. You're correct.
So you're talking about like a government environment.
Yeah, that's strange. I just don't know what IRS agents would be doing, but you know, it's
okay,
wild.
so yeah, hooking up the lights, elevate, like illuminating something.
Right.
Okay, some kind of truth. There's a revelation. There's visibility. We're making something understandable, right? So Matthew 5, right? You are the light of the world. City set on a hill cannot be hidden. Whatever it was, I'm hooking up these lights, kind of like a string of lights. It wasn't like Bob's Pizza Place blinking. It was like a string of lights on top of everything. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So what? Let's see. Connecting the lights. So like, think about myself. I'm always fixing something.
Right.
I'm working on something. I'm observing. In this thing, I'm working. I'm illuminating something, but I'm also observing. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, what am I seeing? So then it changes. So dang it. That was almost bad.
It's okay. We would have got it on
It's
camera.
just water, but it's funny. So let's see. I was hooking up lights. Then I was in a big boardroom. Now I'm overlooking the food court.
Mm-hmm.
So first I illuminated it. Now I'm in this boardroom, and now I'm overlooking what I illuminated. Right. So you talk about something, bam. Now you're just watching it play out.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It was filming. They were filming a commercial for a lawyer.
Right.
Think about how many dreams with the lawyer stuff.
You have had dreams
Oh,
about
quite
that.
a few.
Yeah.
So in this one,
Or trials or some sort of like judicial process. Right?
something, right?
Yeah.
So this is a commercial for a lawyer. Like I said, and there's other dreams. So this is before I became the lawyer.
Right.
It's like we're gonna illuminate, shine the light on something. What is God's throne set on? Righteousness and justice.
Right.
Like this is very foundation of everything about God, where it comes to how you treat the poor, how you treat the widows, how you treat the orphans, how you execute judgment on people. Everything is set on this righteousness and justice. So I think the law, the dreams about lawyers, the it's even a commercial for a defense lawyer. Now you're not seeing what actually
Right.
somebody's what they're doing, what their personality is, what their values are. You're just seeing what's publicly portrayed
Right.
in a commercial. And you know what's funny? This is crazy. But today I was reading this dream and I'm like kind of writing notes for myself. And I'm on my lunchtime, I'm scrolling through on my phone and this TikTok video comes up and it's a commercial for a lawyer, but it's fake.
Oh, so it's like a parody.
It's a parody of a commercial for a lawyer, and the phone number was 222-222-2222. And I was like,
Wow.
what are you trying to tell me here?
Wow.
And it was that, like, they're not real.
Right.
They're fake.
Right.
This is what you're seeing. You're
Right.
seeing fake. You're seeing, like, covering up.
Right. There's a facade. There's something that's going on.
Yeah, like the man was saying, have you ever been sexually harassed at work? And then the other lawyer is shaking this lady and like, you look hot today, you know? And then he kept doing it. So it's like, in the thing, he's showing that he's actually doing it. And the guy's talking about like, we'll defend you. We don't put up with that. But then the other lawyer's actually doing it to the lady. So it's like the facade, you see this.
Yeah. We're supposed to be the purveyors of holding up the establishment of justice.
And justice,
yeah,
yes.
But behind the scenes,
we're all dirtbags. So that's what a commercial is like.
I get it.
Publicly portrayed, but yet in the whatever the inside is, it's fake.
Yeah.
So then, let's see. I'm trying to leaving. Then I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this process of going through a border, but it was from New Mexico to Arizona, or I don't remember what state it was, but I was just going through states, like what we do freely here.
Yeah.
With no problems. I actually have to go through an immigration process to go to the next state. Let's see. So something that it's like, like I said, we're going through this. But then I'm dressed like a New Mexico State police officer.
Okay.
So now they're like, oh, go ahead, sir. As if I'm supposed to be going through this process of immigration. And then they saw the authority and just said,
you can go.
Go ahead, sir.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's delegate, like it's authority. Like I possess in that dream, I possess the authority. It's maybe personal strength, whatever it is. I don't know. But
is there any relation to on that like vein of authority? You said at the very end they let you go because you were a cop. It almost seemed like, I don't know, I misread this, but they let you go so quickly because you were a cop. Like obviously they recognized your authority, but was it like, hey, this is a government thing, we don't want you around?
No.
Okay.
We're letting you go because you're one of us. Like
okay. I
like,
want to make sure I wasn't reading too into it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a cop, but because I presented that authority, like however it is,
right.
They're saying like, go ahead, sir.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
And then what does it mean to you when they had just like IRS agents around there? Because it seems so random.
It does seem random. And I think what was happening at that time? You had Joe Biden hiring 87,000 IRS agents. Why were they hiring that many IRS agents?
To go through everything.
To put everybody through a process.
Yep.
Right?
And they all got let go.
They all got let go.
They were given the option to retire early.
Well, that or just, I mean,
That's the PC way. of saying
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like God was showing, like I feel like this dream was showing, like, okay, this is what we're seeing. We're going to illuminate something. Then we're going to give you a higher perspective. Then we're going to show the law,
Right.
what's real and what's good. Then myself is going to go through a screening process, put the authority on you, and give you access into whatever it is. So I just, oh my goodness, this is such a good, it was such a, like, it seemed so random. Like for years, I'm like, what does this mean? Pizza place? Like,
Yeah.
but then as it like
Planet Pizza
comes,
or whatever it was.
it comes together with the other ones, it's like, okay, you can't walk into God's glory because all you do is argue over stupid stuff. Right. And then you have the next dream where I figure it out. Like, I understand what you want from me. It's my heart. Okay, now, because of that, I'm going to let you illuminate things. I'm going to show you from the top
And give you the authority.
and show you what I care about, which is law, justice, and righteousness.
Wow.
Then I'm going to put you through a process, give you that authority, and then move you on to the next thing. So
realistically, the dream about the festival and the tents, then the brothel in the hotel room, and finally the being essentially a glorified contractor at a pizza restaurant. Yeah, there is actually a connection.
they are. It is actually connected.
That was my question, which you just answered. That's incredible.
And this is my...
It's a progression.
It is a progression.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is my... Gosh. It even fits together better as we talk about it than what I thought earlier.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
But that, like, through the whole thing I'm watching, right? And this is always my role. I'm watching things like...
Right.
And it's... Sometimes I think I'm watching through somebody else's life. Like I'm watching things happen, but it's for somebody else, right? But these ones were specifically for me. Aaron, here's what's going to happen. And this is a promise. This 3 dreams are a promise from God. I'm showing you what I'm promising you. I'm going to show you. We're going to illuminate it. I'm going to show you what I care about, which is righteousness and justice. I don't care about all that other stuff. Doesn't matter how smart you think you are, how much you've learned, what kind of knowledge you have. None of that matters to me. My heart praying like this, oh, this is how you pray. It's from your heart.
Right.
That's what's important. And then now that you understand that, I'm going to cover you, and we're going on to the next thing, which is picking you up, lighting the way, showing you what I care about, and then going through the process, putting that authority, and moving on to the next thing.
Right.
I mean, wow. Like, there's people that struggle with this, understanding what God is saying. Sometimes the dreams are for Spain.
Right.
Today there was a full eclipse over Spain.
Yeah.
I did see that, but then my friend Joseph showed me later. But I just want to say thanks. But yes, there was a full total eclipse over Spain today. I know, like, signs, right? God's like signs in the heaven. Watch for my signs. Talks about the sign of Jonah. Whatever it is, whatever the God does, He created everything to talk to us. I think there's so much how He talks to us that we still don't even understand. And sometimes they're for Spain. Sometimes they're for this. Sometimes they're just for right here in our hometown. Sometimes it's just for me.
Right.
Aaron. But it's the discernment, understanding what He's saying to you is so important. I had a friend today that was yesterday, but God is speaking to her in this way. And I know it's not illuminating to her yet, but that pure heart is the most important thing for her to start understanding what He's saying. It's that, like,
Amen.
not the religious. I gotta
The
be.
religiosity.
I have to be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
No, God doesn't care about that. What He cares about is that your heart is for Him, and He'll show you and guide you and put you exactly where He needs to. But that purity with Him is exactly what's important. And so,
Amen.
you know, this is really, I mean, just the way that they connect is truly
It's a
amazing. And that's
fascinating
like
way to
over, like, you know, over
Yeah,
a
that's
year.
what I was going to say. The time period is, 2022 all the way to 2021. So end of 2021 to the middle, kind of third quarter of 2022. So
Yeah.
it doesn't all happen at once. And that's one of the things I've always heard you say, and you've had to tell me personally, be patient.
Be patient.
And don't
And
rush God.
Don't rush God. Also, don't look at each dream as an individual. Figure out how you can put them together.
So write them down.
Well, write them down,
Remember
of course.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's honoring what He's doing to you. But
And take
then
'em
now
back.
it's taking you to say, okay, what are you saying here?
And then you take it back to the Lord, right?
And then you take it back to the Lord, right?
Yeah. It's incredible.
So,
All right, I have one overarching question I wrote down earlier. And I was wondering if you're okay with me putting you on the spot a little bit.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Earlier you said, okay, there's people who, claim the prophetic and talk about the prophetic and talk about prophecy, right? And they're using the name prophecy incorrectly, right?
Yes.
Our show was called This Week in Prophecy. How are we using it correctly?
That's a good question. Let's ponder that for a second. Well, I'm not data mining. So
You can't really data mine people in your dreams, right?
right? So this is like me showing God showing me, right? Prophecy is like being a mouthpiece for God. He's showing me however He decides to show me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sometimes people say, well, you didn't say thus saith the Lord, so how can I take you seriously?
Because historically, in some denominations believe that in order to say prophecy, they need to start it with "Thus saith the Lord."
Thus
Here's
saith
the
the Lord.
message, and then end it.
So
right?
here's a good example. I was watching this thing, and these men were talking, and one of these men was like more cessationist, and the other guy was a continuationist, and they were talking, and he said, "Well, prophecy is like I would be afraid, to say something." And he's like, "Well, how did think about the Old Testament prophets?" And he said to that man, "How did God speak to them?" And he's like, "Well, it's prophecy, like it's infallible, And he's like, "But how did He speak to them?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, He couldn't answer that because He doesn't understand that."
Yeah.
So how can you teach people or tell people like that's false prophecy if you don't even understand how God speaks to people?
Yeah.
The thing is that people that have been Christians for a very long time don't believe in that. They don't understand why somebody like myself, who's only been a Christian for a couple of years, 5 years, whatever. Oh, no. If God's going to speak to somebody, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've been doing this a long time. Now, stewarding that, right? If God doesn't say something to me, I'm not going to go and say, this is what God said.
You're not going to add on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I give my opinion like, okay, Pizzagate. I don't know that that's really Pizzagate, but that's kind of what I thought in my brain. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm illuminating something. I saw the pizza place. Now, it doesn't mean that that's what it is. I'm just saying, like, imagine like something like this, something that's unrighteous, unjust, that's happening, is getting illuminated. When I say Pizzagate, like, you can study, you understand what I'm talking about. It's not exactly what I'm saying, but I am saying, like, he did this, he did this, he did this, and this is for me. Like,
Right.
this is for my life. Like, this is for me to walk forward with God and Him, and these are His promises. Now, I'm showing you or whoever's watching, like, understanding, like, this is how I understand how God speaks, especially dreams. Dreams are not easy for people. They don't.
Not at all.
I mean, look at, if I send you this dream with the New Mexico State police officer, did you say like, oh yeah, man, okay, this is what God's telling you?
No, not at all.
Looks like a bunch of random babble.
I mean, that's literally why these 3 dreams in sequence, I had no idea where we were going. I mean, we went from a festival with old tents to drunken prostitutes and to a pizza place in New Mexico State Police.
Sounds like a bunch of like babble.
And for some, and for people who go, oh, those dreams are kind of abstract. There's no way God would give you dreams in that regard. I would point them to the book of Revelation. Have you ever read Revelation?
Yes.
Because that's a pretty intense dream, vision, revelation that John got, right? Was it John?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so look at, okay, I was just reading Ezekiel because we were talking about the temple.
Right.
And talking about a throne with wheels of fire that when you lift your head up, the wheels turn this way and they turn this. Like,
Yeah.
I think, to me, the person who saw the vision didn't understand what they were seeing because it's so radical.
Yeah.
So they wrote it down on how they thought it looked or what they thought they saw. Let's just say, I don't think there was wheelchairs back then, or I don't know that there's wheelchairs back there. Like, so maybe he saw,
Oh my goodness.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
he didn't say, oh, it was a wheelchair or a throne with wheels, whatever it was. It looked like a wheelchair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead it was a throne with wheels, which that's, God's throne, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't understand his ways.
Yeah.
The point is, I think there's a lot of things that people saw and they didn't understand how to write it down. I saw a metal bird, okay, he saw an airplane,
Yeah.
but he didn't know airplane. He just said, I saw a metal bird flying through the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
like if somebody in 1940 had a dream about an iPod with headphones, how would they describe it?
yeah,
We know exactly what it is, but they would have to find words and
like,
common things to explain it, and it would probably sound a little strange.
he would say like a square telescope. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what it is? Whatever it is.
The world on there.
Yeah,
That's
like
great.
it's like they could see planets
Yeah.
like right in the palm of their hand. They held the planet in the palm of their hand.
Yeah.
But really it was just a picture on an iPhone. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't understand what he's seeing. And I think a lot of people are stuck in that mindset. They don't understand what they're seeing because they haven't figured out how to like let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I got to let go of all this stuff. I need to come back to a pure heart because now I've filled my heart with all this junk that God doesn't care about. Do you really think he cares about what you understand about the 7 solas of scriptura, whatever? I don't know. I don't even know how to say it, but do you think he cares like that you are, have a doctorate degree in you know exactly what I'm talking about because you went to that school.
The problem with it is it's just like, just because you have a degree doesn't necessarily give you an enhanced level of credibility in anything that you have a degree for.
That's true.
It's really, really frustrating. It's that old saying in corporate America, titles are stupid and they mean nothing. And I think that carries throughout the church too. Titles are silly sometimes and they don't really mean anything because we're all equal in God's kingdom.
Who gives God
who
titles? I'm sorry, not God. Who gives men their positions?
Other men.
God.
Well, God should, but very often we see in the organized, what am I trying to say, institutionalized church, people give people titles.
All these men, prophets and apostles they were given their title by another man.
Yeah.
And there's big ceremony, pomp, and all this
Or
stuff.
there's a big revelation, like you are the one who's going to be the apostle. And it's like, okay, you're the one who's going to be the prophet.
It's amazing to see how these things turn out.
It really is.
To be honest, I feel gifted that my eyes were open to it in the beginning because there was a pure heart. I didn't spend 15 years in a denomination being a soldier of that denomination.
Yeah.
Whether it be charismatic, Lutheran, Catholic, Seventh-day Adventist, whatever it is, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't break out of it. What it means is you have to break out of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I like to watch people's testimonies online, and a lot of people that are new to the faith, it's like 2020, God came in my room. 2020, 2021, 2019, God showed up in my dreams. God came in my room. And it's like, this was the time that he just, boom, like, I'm going to see how many people will actually
listen,
walk towards me instead of what they think is best for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm so amazed to see how many people actually said, oh, God's doing something. And how many people said, God's doing something and I'm the one that's going to steward this thing. And how many people said, nah, he doesn't do that. No such thing as revival.
It's crazy, man. What a miss. What a miss.
These are the mysteries of God that we just, there's so many things in the Bible we just don't understand. But then we gotta, I'm a theologian. You know, there's people who have double doctorate degrees that say that cow farts are ruining the atmosphere.
Bro, that's methane point. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Does anywhere in the Bible say that God put crude oil on the earth and he messed up and it's going to blow up before people get to heaven, before the judgment day? Does it anywhere in there say that I made a mistake by putting crude oil and you guys are going to burn the planet down before judgment day?
I created the world in such a way that what I created on the world is going to destroy the world.
Yeah.
No, doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that anywhere. He knows exactly what's happening, when, where, why, how, and he created it. So, but you have, like I said, doctorate degrees. 10 years, there's going to be no more snow on the earth.
This stuff was going on back in it was going back, like we've tried to overcomplicate things that are simple since they just changed the name. Since we were created.
Yes.
You know, look at all the struggles the English church went through when they were like, oh, Catholicism's going to take over, so we're not going to, accept Catholicism. And then they created a church, and then the church and the state were together, and then they had to separate it. It's like we've done this whole dance for centuries. Well,
one person gets in charge, and now they're the Church of England. Then his daughter gets in charge. Oh, no, we're Catholics. Yeah. Then his other daughter gets in charge. No, we're Baptists again.
There were a lot of really
James
messed up
gets
generations.
In charge, right?
Yeah.
Then James gets in charge, and then no. Witches are you can die now if I think you're a witch. Like it just like whoever's in charge, they're gonna ruin everything.
We should have a new word to use when we talk about all the institutional forms of religion. Some big, long, complicated word. I'll find it. We'll come out with it next episode.
Glad we'll find it.
Oh, that's good, man. Anything else that you want to touch on before we wrap?
No, that's it, man.
Cool.
I hope that people really look at God from a pure heart and just put all the things you think is important away and just know, like, Jesus Christ and Christ crucified. Like, that's what it says, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Bible says. Jesus Christ, I taught you Jesus Christ and Christ crucified. That's it.
Amen.
All this other stuff is just junk.
That's a great place to start for anybody who wants to get into faith. Jesus Christ dying on the cross for your sins.
Well, let's not even that. Let's talk about the people who have been pushing that for so long. If, this river was so heavy, they're just not going to see it. It's like showing up in our lives. More people that I know are having dreams, and they're like, look at this. What do you think about this? Like, okay, you got to look at God. You got to ask God. I'll help you to lead you to God. Or if it's like, look, this is what that means. Tell her because I need her to come back to me, or him, or whatever it is. Yeah. You see more and more people. Oh, wow, this is God, right? Like that. That was amazing. That I'm thinking about this dream. The lawyer, like, what are you trying to say? Yes, I have lots of dreams of lawyers. And then, boom, here comes this commercial. 222, 222, 2222. Like, okay, I'm not into angel numbers. Like, that's not what I'm saying. It's not a mystical thing. It's God trying to get my attention. Aaron, look at here. This is what I'm showing you.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's brilliant, man. Brilliant. You want to wrap us up and pray?
Yes.
Awesome.
Lord, I thank you that we can come together today, Billy and I, and that we can share and talk about what you're doing in the world and just do it with a pure heart, Lord. And I just ask that, I pray that many people's eyes are open, Lord. I pray that you just pour out on them and show the world like the knowledge of your glory. I pray that you just open eyes all over the world, Lord, and more people will understand what you're saying and what you're doing and what's good, what's righteous and what's just, and even understand what's not good, what's bad, what's unjust to the people, Lord, and then move away from that. Lord, I just thank you for the rain today, for the clouds. I thank you for just health. I thank you for all the people that are watching, that they feel in good health, Lord, and that we can just come together in this country especially and talk about your word and not have to worry about persecution, Lord. And I hope that the people the people that think that a degree means that you're the expert on everything, Lord, I hope that you will humble them. Lord, and I just ask, we pray for people's eyes to be open, but sometimes we need to say, Lord, maybe it's just time to humble people. And I know that you answer prayers. I've seen it many times, Lord. And so maybe it's just time for people to be humbled. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.